Good morning, SKN. I'm Andre Cunningham.
And I am Cortensia Carty.
And indeed, it's Terrific Tuesday.
It is indeed Terrific Tuesday.
Happy you all could join us this morning.
Yes, although it's a tad bit hot outside. Even the water coming out of the shower was hot. Do y'all find I'm complaining? It's just hot.
I love it. It's warm. I love me my warm water.
I don't like no warm water. I like freezing cold.
But how are we going to start this morning?
Well, I have a lovely little quote here. I don't know what else you have in store for the good old folks this morning. But the quote said, educated or not, you do not have the right to disrespect anyone. So educated or not, you do not have the right to disrespect anyone. So let us all be mindful. Let's be empathetic towards each other. And there's no need to talk down to anyone. There's no need to make anyone feel less than they are. So do what's right today. Make somebody smile.
Very well said.
Indeed. Now, as we proceed to the local news, this news comes to us by way of a press release by the Nevis Island administration. Products from Llewellyn's Manufacturing Company, a family-owned manufacturing and service business in Zetland's Gingerland, were on display at the Agroalimentaria 2023, a three-day trade show at the Dominican Fiesta Hotel and Convention Center in the Dominican Republic from May 31st to June 3rd. The event was hosted by the Dominican Agro-Industry Board, JAD, and the Dominican Trade and Investment Promotion Office, Pro Dominicana. The business, which is owned and operated by Mr. Llewellyn Clark and his wife Violet, is one of the 10 businesses partly funded by the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, to attend the event 8th edition through the Caribbean Export Development Agency, Caribbean Export, a regional trade and investment promotion organization of the Forum of Caribbean States, CARIFORUM. Mr. Clark is representing the couple's business at the event. However, Mistress Clark told the Department of Information on June 1st, 2023 about their invitation. She said, and quote, "Our business was recommended as an export-ready or close-to-ready business with products that have international appeal." End quote. Kudos to them. They were on the show already. Their pepper sauces taste really well. Right now I'm on the golden apple pepper sauce. So Miss Violet, love it.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Llewellyn's
indeed.
brand, always a good brand.
Yes, indeed.
And still on the local scene, this one comes to us from Win Media SKN. Attorney at law, Mr. Craig Tuckett, said a meeting was held on Saturday, June 3rd, to advocate for the appropriate treatment of the Haitians who have been detained in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis since February 2023. According to Tuckett, it was disclosed in the meeting that the government will seek to improve upon the conditions in which the Haitians are being treated. He said, and quote, "After I would have spoken to the research officer in the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Choi, and now the state is committed to improving living standards. They have now agreed that they would get time to come outside to play sports or to get exercise or to get fresh air. Hopefully, we would continue our advocacy to ensure now that they would be released, but there's no doubt, which was even said in the meeting by one of their officials, that they admit that they were not intending to come here. They were on a different voyage, and so they are endeavoring to try to ensure that the state does its part to improve the state of affairs." End quote. Tuckett argued that the government's commitment to improve upon the treatment of the Haitians does not exclude that the constitutional rights and human rights of the Haitians were breached. He added that the legal suit against the government will continue.
Wow. Well, I hope they're treated fair. I'm happy to hear that they can actually go outside and exercise. Yeah.
Right. They deserve that.
Yeah. We are all people. We just have to be more empathetic towards each other.
Of course.
So we continue now. This comes from a press release by the Nevis Island administration. Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley, has endorsed Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terrence's Drew recent implementation policy, which reduces the interest rate on existing student loans at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis from 9% to 5%. Premier Brantley commented, and quote, "I support any and all initiatives to assist our youth. The truth is that interest rates on student loans have been excessive for far too long. If we are serious about education, then we must also be serious about making it more affordable and by extension more accessible to more people, end quote. During the recent political campaign, the Premier's party indicated that if put in a position to lower interest rates on student loans, it would do so. He applauded Prime Minister Drew and his administration for implementing the policy as a matter of urgency. The second phase of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis graduate program finance project became effective on June 1st, 2023. The first phase saw the interest rates for new students being reduced to 5% per annum. The project also eliminates payment on interest for the first 4.25 years and allow for an overall repayment period of 15 years.
And as I said earlier, we should have still been in school
to
get all these benefits.
Well, that's why for those that have loans at the development bank, guys, once again, take advantage of it. It's there for you.
Of course. Here's what's happening today in our local weather report. It is currently 84 degrees on the outside, but later on it will be partly cloudy with a high of 87 and a low of 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your local weather forecast for today. Stay with us. Regional and international news are next.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. If you're just joining us, you are now in tune to regional news. Here's what's happening in the regional news. This one comes to us from Loop Caribbean. The United States Department of Agriculture is working to revitalize the spice industry in Jamaica through the launch of the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Progress Jamaica Spices project. This initiative, funded by the USDA, will support 7,500 farmers and agricultural market systems, including women, youth, and other marginalized groups, create a more diversified and vibrant spice sector, and contribute to a 50% increase in ginger, turmeric, and pimento through improved planting material and management practices. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Progress Jamaica Spices Project is a 5-year project that will revitalize the spice sector to meet the existing export and domestic demand for turmeric, ginger, and pimento. The project will result in a more diversified, inclusive, sustainable, and climate-resilient spice sector, reaching US $20 million in sales and US $13.5 million in annual export sales.
Nice. I didn't know y'all had a spice. I know y'all are famous for the jerk, but I didn't know.
Oh, we have the best ginger in the world. Google it.
All right.
Yep.
No one else has the best ginger. On that word, we move on the international scene. This news comes from the Associated Press News. Global negotiators have agreed to craft a draft treaty to end plastic pollution, a preliminary but crucial step towards tackling one of the most lasting sources of human waste. Environmental advocates cautiously welcome the outcome of 5 days of UN talks in Paris on plastic pollution, but express concerns that petroleum industries and some governments would water down the eventual treaty. Most plastic is made from fossil fuels. Delegates at the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee for Plastics agreed Friday evening to produce an initial draft before their next meeting in Kenya in November. Participants said the committee is charged with developing the first international legally binding treaty on plastic pollution on land and at sea. A coalition of, and quote, high ambition governments led by Norway and Rwanda, along with environmental groups, want to end plastic pollution altogether by 2040 by slashing production and limiting some chemical use in making plastics. It is sad that they say that some governments will water down the treaty eventually, though.
Very sad.
Imagine this is a 50-year battle. Last night I went to a supermarket and I bought some stuff, and the young lady proceeded to give me a plastic bag, and I'd be like, "No, I don't want a plastic
She's not
bag."
aware.
No plastic Monday. I have to stick to it. Imagine seeing me walking out with a plastic bag.
What
And I was
example.
advocating for no plastic
Exactly.
bags. Folks, there you have it for local, regional, and international news. We have so much in store for you, but guess what? You have to stay tuned. So for those of you watching us in St. Martin, in the diaspora, in Jamaica, in Bahamas, in Guyana, go tell your friends, turn on their devices. Good morning, SKN is on. See you after this short break.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Back to Good Morning SKN. This segment is all about mastering peace. Here are 5 ways you can start mastering peace in your life from an article published by Godness Retreats.
And
You ready for this discussion?
I'm ready. Because how could we masterpiece?
I am. And let's start by this. We are all masterpiece in our own way.
Yeah, we are masterpiece.
We are all masterpiece trying to master
peace.
How about that?
Oh, indeed. How does one masterpiece though? It says simplify. Our first point. Possessions of material riches without inner peace is like dying of thirst while bathing in a lake. Wow. And that, who said that was Paramahansa Yoganandaya. Wow. What a name. Yeah.
Possession of material riches without inner peace. So you could have everything in the world you could
and have no peace.
And have no peace. Imagine that.
Yeah, but a lot of, if you realize, a lot of celebrities literally tell us this, like, you have it all, but you don't have the peace. And we see in our daily lives, when we are stressed, when we feel haggard and we don't have peace, we are quick to lash out at persons. Our mood is different. People can tell like something's wrong with that person, especially if you're a bubbly person. They can tell like something's up.
I agree. So in other words, simplify means to humble yourself.
Humble yourself.
Humble yourself.
And no matter how much you have, just know that these things may or may not make you happy. Because imagine buying a bag or a shoe for the first time. How are we when we make a purchase, Andre, that we wanted so bad? We didn't need it, but we wanted it so bad.
Right.
How are we when we finally make that purchase and we're walking out the store with the item? We're related, right?
Yep, very much so. And this is another thing. A lot of persons do not know the difference between a need and a want. And there's a big difference.
A big difference.
A need is when you actually can not do without it.
Exactly, like food.
Right. But when you want something like, I want it, but I can do without it.
Yeah.
And it's a big difference.
Indeed, indeed. So, masterpiece by simplifying things for you.
Do what you enjoy.
Aww.
Yep. Certainly do what you enjoy. Like what we are doing now.
Exactly.
We enjoy
so it doesn't feel like you're working a day
at all. We love this. We like to put on the smile on the face, and we like to just be yourself so that when persons see you, they can see a little bit of them through you.
Oh, y'all didn't realize I didn't touch on my co-host's bow tie this morning.
I'm feeling bow tie-ish this morning.
Oh my gosh,
Listen,
it's cute, it's cute.
We have an amazing show lineup, and I can't wait for them to appear on this set. This segment.
I tell you, oh my gosh. So as Audrey said earlier, do what you enjoy. Work takes up a large part of our day. So it is definitely an area that can play a large part in cultivating a peace-filled environment. And so I say you shouldn't go to work and feel tense. You shouldn't go to work and be like, okay, I need to leave. I need to go home now.
Right, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. So you just come to work, even if you don't want to be there, you just make the best of it until you find what you love.
Yep, love what you do. And when you do that, it seems as if you're not even working.
Exactly.
You're doing what you love.
You're doing what you love indeed. Forgive the past. When we are practicing inner peace, accepting what is in the present moment is much easier to let go of things and to forgive things that has happened in the past. I don't know. Why do we let the past keep us back though? Why?
Well, when you hold on to things that happened in the past, I mean, you're always miserable.
Always.
You tend to always be miserable. And so forgiveness give you that inner peace. Even if and it is also important to forgive yourself in that particular moment, because sometimes an individual might hurt you or do wrong. And even though you know within yourself that you are not at fault, but they make it seem as if you're at fault, it is always important for yourself to forgive self.
Yes. I want that story, I've been begging Andre to say what he has to say, y'all. But y'all realize how he's being coy about it?
Listen.
And he's not sharing. I long for the day when he's going to share.
I am definitely going to share it right here on GMSKN.
So successconscious.com says problems, difficulties, fears, worries, and hurt feelings increase mental restlessness and lack of inner peace. So when we have these showing up, we have to get ourselves in order.
I agree. So you find when you tend to forgive, how do you feel within yourself? If I hurt you or say something that hurt your feelings, how important it is for you to forgive me?
It's important because I don't want to be walking around with that stress, so I can forgive and forget you at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
But I know many of us can't do that.
No, because we want to walk around with the nonsense. You heard me from 20 years, and the next 20 years I see you, I'm like, oh, him. No, I got time for that.
Exactly.
No time for that.
I mean, it's like a burden lifted off you when you forgive.
Exactly.
You feel light. I mean, for me personally, I have no time to hold grudges.
No time indeed.
Makes no sense.
No.
Accept the present. When you accept what is, you stop feeding energy into resisting and reality of the present moment. Yep. Accept the present.
Yeah.
So if you born with one hand or one leg or visually impaired, accept it.
You think?
Yes.
Do you think it's that easy though?
It's not easy, but if you go around blaming others for, let's say, a disability, you're gonna be miserable. But if you retrospect, look within yourself and say, this is how God made me, this is who I am, you're gonna feel peaceful.
I get that, because a lot of us are really changing what we look like. And I wish we would learn the lessons of the misfortunes that most of our counterparts are having when it comes to doing certain cosmetic surgeries. And it's like we're not learning we're seeing the tests these folks are going through, but it's like we're not getting the lesson. And we are constantly we're not happy with ourselves, and we think, okay, if I look like this, then I'll be happy. If I do this, then I'll be happy. Nothing in life is easy. Nothing in life comes free. We know everything in life takes work. We didn't get here just not doing anything. We had to do something in order to elevate ourselves in life. So for you to put yourself under that strain of thinking, oh, after this cut up I'll be fine, and then you don't make it out of the cut up, and there are children that are involved, there's family members that are involved,
we're left behind to pick up the pieces. Like
we just have to be contented with how we are made. Just accept who you are. Not all of us were born to have small noses or tiny waists or
long tendricles.
I know. No, we weren't.
Like Corty. Long tentacles like Corty. And don't get us wrong, folks. Like, if you have it and you want to pay to do it, but do it properly, do it well.
But not even that for those persons. Okay,
but we want to make it clear that we're not against persons who do a little extra, a little boast, a little tummy talk, whatever to make themselves.
But it is becoming detrimental to most persons' health. So I'm wishing that we could just, go to the natural route, do the exercise, eat properly, be confident in ourselves, and don't go that mile that there's not a surety that we're gonna come back from it.
Exactly, it's a risk.
I'm concerned for the women and the men that do these things and end up not making it back.
Accept the present.
Accept yourself. Love you.
Right. And the final one says, stay in the present moment. In other words, live for now. Indeed. You have persons who, it's always important to plan for the future, but how about live for now, Cortez?
Because we're not sure.
I mean,
we're here today and we're gone today.
It's
like not that. Even gone tomorrow.
Just like that. How much inner peace is lost by people worrying about their future, if they will be okay, if they will have enough love, money, and security? The answer is a lot.
Yeah. But why would you worry about these things? If they're for you, then they'll come to you. And that's why our parents always told us, wait your turn. There's this saying again, I don't whine and meet the tango band, let the tango band come and meet you.
Here we go. Repeat that so they could hear again.
Don't whine and meet the tango band, let the tango band come and meet you. What do y'all say in Jamaica?
See me and come live with me at two different something. Yes.
But to wait on your stuff?
Yes, it relates to that statement,
wow.
of course.
Wow. Yeah. So patience is a virtue. And also to have some inner peace. This is what you do, right?
Yep.
Eat right. Get plenty of sleep. Exercise. Meditate. And practice mindfulness.
Yep. And how can we forget forgiveness?
Yeah. You have to forgive. You can't hold on to the past. And don't let anybody hold you hostage to your past. Your past is your past. You would have lived it. You no longer live in that apartment. So you would have evicted yourself. Just ignore them.
Indeed. So some goddess retreat to help us master our peace this morning includes simplify, do what you enjoy, forgive the past, accept the present, and stay in the present moment.
Yeah.
Hope you learned a thing or two this morning how to master your peace, and indeed we are all masterpieces trying to master peace.
Indeed.
Stay with us. Much more when we return on GMSKN.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
What's good, guys? This is Savion Govayo, owner of Liquid Gold, Instagram Liquid Gold SKN. Make sure you guys tune in every day from 8 to 10 a.m. Studio 327, Good Morning St. Kitts.
Hi everyone, my name is Tatiana Lido, owner of Soul Food Kitchen. Make sure to tune in to Good Morning SKN on Studio 327, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. daily.
cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and support from Paris, Vermont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 on Studio 327. Thanks.
Welcome back to a Good Morning SKN. In anticipation of our next guest, Dr. Marissa Grant-Tate. She is up and next. Stay tuned. So much in store when we begin that conversation.
Yo, you know it's me, Mr. H.E. Yo, make sure you tune in to Good Morning SKN Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Studio 327. Yo, trust me, the baddest show in the morning. Make sure you check it out. Wake up. Make sure that you are there from 8 to 10, Monday to Friday. Boom, check it. Rah.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. As a promise, in our studio, we have Dr. Marissa Grant-Tate. Dr. Grant-Tate is an oncologist, and she's here to enlighten us on the human papilloma virus. Good morning, Dr. Tate, and welcome back to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning.
Happy you could join us this morning.
Indeed.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome.
What is HPV?
HPV, simply put, is a virus. There are over 200 or approximately 200 different subtypes or serotypes, as we would refer to them. What happens though is that they are then subcategorized into what we would refer to as high risk HPV virus and low risk. And according to their categorization, then we have a better understanding in terms of their capabilities.
Wow, you said over 200. I'm still in shock about
Interesting. Doctor, can you share with us how this virus is being transmitted?
Well, HPV is actually transmitted through sexual intercourse. However, and I know because generally when we hear of HPV, you know, we tend to go on the offensive. In actuality, HPV is in fact the most commonly transmitted sexually transmitted disease, specifically in the United States. But apart from that, worldwide in general, it's just extremely common. As a matter of fact, it is known that 9 out of 10 Americans by the age of 27 will have had, or will have, would have had, or have had what is HPV infection.
Wow. We know there's a campaign in the US with the vaccine.
Right.
From what I've read, it's a non-curable disease once it's caught. Do you know, or can you say if the vaccine prevents this virus from happening? And if so, why is it that we don't have the same campaign in our federation?
So that's 3 questions that I need to answer all at once. So the first part of it is, in actuality, it is curable, but it basically cures itself. It is an illness that passes on its own. Generally, the typical HPV infection would last approximately 2 years. And so then in terms of some of the more or the greater consequences associated to high-risk HPV infections, they are as a result of what would be prolonged or persistent HPV infections. In respect to what would be the vaccine itself, the vaccine does in fact protect, very well, so too, against the HPV infection. And yes, we in fact do have what is a very active campaign here against HPV. In actuality, the Ministry of Health, they would have embarked on what would have been a campaign where we actually started vaccinating school children in around what would have been the 5th grade to be able to have the vaccine. And that's some years now, perhaps about 3-4 years.
So around 12, 11 is the vaccination age?
Basically. From my best recollection, my daughter would have been about 9 at the time, but she was in 5th grade, and so she too was also vaccinated in what was the first batch. Yes.
Okay.
And Dr. Tate, to my knowledge, signs and symptoms. Sign is basically what you see an individual, and the symptoms would be how you would feel. Can you share with us what are some of the signs and symptoms of the HPV?
Unfortunately, HPV too is pretty asymptomatic. So we do not have a whole lot in terms of signs or symptoms that you can typically refer to. And so it basically comes to, what is, I would say perhaps opportunistic testing to be able to confirm what would be the actual illness. But there
are no signs.
Truly, we cannot refer to any signs or symptoms.
So what about the cauliflower growth? Because we know there are other cauliflower growths that may not be HPV. That's why it's so important to get the diagnosis from a doctor. But isn't that a sign?
Well, technically, so here we've gotten a bit more complex because while they may be the result of HPV, they themselves are not HPV. Right. So and so I'm sorry. I didn't intend to be technical, but
but it's good to know because we weren't informed about that.
Right.
Wow.
So you know, in terms of as I would have spoken before in respect to what would be the high risk and the low risk, the low risk serotypes, they tend to cause what would be the warts and the growths and so forth. So this is where you would put in that cauliflower like aspect. And so then the high risk, then those types rather would be greater associated with what would be cancers. In other words, they are predisposing factors to quite a few cancers.
You said quite a few cancers. Could you name some of those cancers?
Sure, absolutely.
And I'm going to throw a next question at you since I like to throw questions.
Give me time to breathe.
Who is more effective, the male or the female?
Equally so. Equally so. There is no disparity. Right. There is no disparity as it would refer to HPV. HPV is simply HPV across the board in respect to incidence and again because of the fact that it is transmitted through sexual relations. It's also important to point out that the normal barrier methods, that and that is perhaps very important to point out because generally we tend to think, well, I'm being cautious, I'm being protective and so forth, but in actuality the barrier methods do not protect you against HPV.
Wow. So you cannot protect yourself.
I'm sorry.
So we cannot protect ourselves from it?
Well,
if we have it?
Well, in terms of contracting it, because of this, and so this is why people like myself, for example, we try to eliminate what is that stereotyping, that prejudice towards, what would be certain types of cancers specifically. For example, I always say, women, for example, who are diagnosed with breast cancer and so forth, and through no fault of their own, they often receive what is a much more sympathetic view and support in terms of the general public compared to when a woman is diagnosed with what is a cervical cancer, where it is then, it's as if to suggest, well, it's because of something that you did, right? Amongst other things. When in actuality, the truth of the matter is that, generally, once it is that you are in fact sexually active, 9 out of 10 possibilities is that, or chances rather, would have been that you would have contracted HPV at some point in your life, very likely before the age of 27.
This is shocking.
Yes.
It is
I
shocking.
know, right?
And in terms of prevalence, is it prevalent here in St. Kitts?
All over, everywhere. Again, it's just associated to what is sexual activity, and again, because of the fact that the barrier methods do not protect you against HPV infections, then it really comes down in terms of consequence and symptoms, or rather not symptoms, but more so in terms of outcomes. To a large extent, would depend on other factors, specifically your immune system. That is one of the best factors in terms of being able to naturally allow for what is the elimination of the HPV virus, because contrary to that, we do not have what is going to be an otherwise cure. So the body has to be able to eliminate it on its own.
The body's the cure.
Absolutely.
Basically. You touched on cancers, doctor. I know cervical is one. I was also reading something, so you can tell me if it's incorrect. The papillomavirus can cause stomach cancer as well. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it says it can cause some. That's the organs that it affects and cause it to be cancerous. So I said I definitely have to ask you when I say, you see why you don't believe everything you read on the internet?
Exactly.
Dr. Google.
That's why we bring in the experts.
Exactly.
Right.
But it definitely does, lead to, greater propensity to other types of cancers, specifically what we'd refer to as anogenital cancers. So basically anything from what is the anus, that of the vagina, and so forth. Also, too, it can cause cancers of the oropharynx, it can cause cancers of the mouth. Oropharynx, that's that little space heading back in from the mouth.
Okay, because that was just lost.
And to some extent as well too in terms of the throat. So I'm not sure if maybe that may have been what you may have read, because sometimes we tend to stomach. Okay,
it said the papilloma. I didn't say the human. It said the papillomavirus affects the stomach and it causes cancers.
No, more specifically though, H. pylori does have a high association in terms of a predisposing factor for cancer of the stomach, but that's the H. pylori.
And it's different from HPV.
That's different to HPV, which is the human papillomavirus.
Right.
Indeed.
And doctor, can you share with us, is there a difference in which it affects male or female?
Not at all. Similarly, in terms of the incidence, men similarly can end up with, what may be the cancers as a result of the high risk sub or serotypes. They can equally as the women. And in terms of the low risk serotypes, the same in terms of what would be the warts and so forth. The difference, I would say, would be more in terms of anatomical, in the sense that men do not have cervix, cervix or a cervix, right? And so then a man would not be affected by cervical cancer, which is actually, now considered an international problem of health by the World Health Organization and by the International Agency for Cancer Research.
Okay, you can bust the next myth for me. So I read something else that says it takes 10 to 15 years for those persons who may have the HPV for the cancer to develop. Doc, is that true?
It's variable, to be quite honest. We tend to look at what would be averages in terms of the progression of the illness, or rather of what would have been the HPV infection. But there definitely are some variations in terms of what would be the sexually or rather of the sexual organs in respect to that of the cervix and so forth. Generally, we tend to recommend that testing begins from at least 5 years after the onset of sexual relations, the first or the initial onset. Just to be able to emphasize more on what would be pre-cancer detection, which is very important, and that is perhaps one of the more underused services here, and it's something that we need to work towards more greatly so.
You mean women going for the pap smears?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But some women are still afraid because it's not that comfortable.
But in actuality, I mean, if we have to compare, cervical cancer to what is, a pap smear, and to be quite honest, even so to at this point in time, IARC, and again with WHO IARC, they are actually advocating for what would be instead the emphasis on what would be the HPV vaccination. So there's this 90-70 approach that is being used, and countries are being encouraged to adapt. 90% of girls, or rather of children, to have been vaccinated with the HPV vaccine. For 70% of women, this is for the elimination of cervical cancer. For 70% of women to have had what we would refer to as a high quality testing method, which will not in fact be the pap smear. In this instance, we're referring to what would be colposcopy, that is, one method, or what is the HPV testing specifically. And the recommendations for that would be that it is done first at the age of 35, and that it is done again at the age of 45. And then the other 90% is in respect to what is treatment. And this is for what is the elimination of cervical cancer worldwide.
Wow.
And this is for both men and women.
Well, because of the fact that men do not have the cervix, but they definitely can assist. They definitely can assist.
Right.
Let me ask you, what about foods and vitamins and stuff? What food should we eat? What food should we not eat? What vitamins should we take to ensure that we don't contract the HPV or help?
No such thing again, in terms of, to be quite honest, no such thing. And I hate to be the break of sad news. No such thing. But again, because of the fact that the body naturally has, its own mechanism in terms of being able to eliminate the HPV virus, then what we do encourage would be, healthy lifestyles in terms of, definitely the vitamins help, but I always try to emphasize, even for children, what would be a more complete diet. And where it is that you have these deficiencies, then, you may be able to rely on vitamins. So no specific vitamin or anything of that sort, but if there is a deficiency for whatever reason, then by all means.
Okay. All right.
So, quickly, doctor, you're going to the medical facility, you've been tested for HPV. Walk us through, if you diagnosed, walk us through the treatment procedure?
Again, no treatment. They're right. No treatment. I thought. What happens is that for HPV, we are literally relying on our own immune system, our body, to be able to eliminate it. There's no treatment. There's no such thing. And to be fair, I always highlight or try to highlight rather the fact that we still have many challenges in general worldwide when it comes to what would be treating viruses. Viruses are not easy to treat. And so then HPV is no different. This is why we still have what would be issues with other virally transmitted illnesses such as HIV, which then ultimately can result in AIDS and so forth. Viruses are difficult.
That has a treatment.
There's treatment in terms of suppression, but in respect to what is curation, then it's right. And
so HPV is inevitable.
Once you're sexually active, it's pretty difficult for you to dodge the bullet. And so this is why again, we emphasize on the methods in respect to elimination of the cancers that are more profound. In 2020 there were over 500,000 new cases of cervical cancer worldwide, and then there would have been approximately 350,000 deaths of that same year. And most of those deaths would have been in small or rather underdeveloped or countries in route of development and so forth. So it's definitely a problem, and at the same time one that can be quite avoided.
Okay.
Wow. And as we wrap, Dr. Tate, can you share with the viewing audience that individual who may have been diagnosed, what encouragement would you have for those persons who have contracted the HPV virus?
It really just comes down again to what would be, the necessary review in respect of knowing what what your risks are. It's very unlikely, in fact, that you be told, except if it is that you submit yourself specifically for what is going to be HPV testing. For example, we don't, there's no blood test, for example, for what is, say, HPV. So it's not one of those things that, very often you'll be told, oh, you have HPV. In absence of what would be a woman who would have gone to have done, whether it be her pap smear or specifically what is HPV testing, and then in that moment, then she is swabbed. So it really just comes down to a matter of being able to monitor, so that we can check and make sure that the virus would have cleared itself within the time that it is supposed to. And in absence of that, if there's persistence of the illness, then to have the necessary review, looking for what could be the secondary results.
Wow. That was a lot to take in, guys. I hope you listened, you take in, you heard the myths that I asked the doctors, that she busted them straight through. So I really hope that you enjoyed our conversation this morning with Dr. Grant Tate. It's always a pleasure having you in the studio. You are a wealth of knowledge. We appreciate you, and we look forward to our next conversation.
Pleasure is mine.
GMSCAN Nation, stay tuned. So much more in store.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band, and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
I'm going to say this is Infamous Music representing for Good Morning SKN, and I want to encourage you to watch the show every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Easy no man. Say me don't know about you, but me love Good Morning SKN bed. Easy.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Have you ever heard of the Transcendence Pageant? It's an annual show that helps to promote diversity, tolerance, and inclusion in the region. Joining us on Good Morning SKN to share their experience being a part of the competition is Amani Lewis, representative for the 2023 Mr. and Miss Caribbean. Yes, you heard that right. Caribbean pageant recently held in St. Lucia. Amani, welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me. I feel so good being here.
Of course. So Amani, could you share with us, how did you heard about this pageant?
Well, I'm a part of this organization called the SKN Alliance for Equality, and I went to a workshop and they was talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and they randomly mentioned, oh, we have a show coming up and we're thinking about sending you. And I'm like, me? I'm like, why me? Like, this is strange. And they was like, I thought about it. I'm like, you know what, let me do it because it's bigger than me.
Right.
It's bigger than you. Why did you think it? Why would you say it was bigger than you?
Because as a young gay, when I was younger, I always wanted somebody to look up to.
Okay.
Being gay, so me being my age, I'd be like, you know what, I could be like a next example for
someone else. Okay, good stuff. So tell us about some of the preparations. How easy or how hard was it? Who was your chaperone? How were the practices? Did you want to quit at any point?
I wanted to quit many times. It was tedious. The preparation was a lot. My chaperone was Devon and Tariq and also Zen. Those are well known.
You got good people on your side.
Yes, you know.
Oh, Tariq, that's my friend.
Tariq, that's my good Judy.
Okay, nice.
It was a lot. Of course, a couple times I wanted to give up because, you know, sometimes when people have so much pressure on you and people telling you, oh, you could do this, and I'd be like, I can't do it. It's difficult. And it takes a lot out of your body, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
Also, can you share with us the pageant itself? What were the different segments that you entered?
Well, we have a swimwear. We had swimwear. We had evening wear, formal wear, evening wear / formal wear. We have talent and we have interview. I won interview.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yes, I won interview for the beautiful island of St. Kitts and Nevis. But fun fact, I'm not originally from St. Kitts. I'm originally from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I moved here in 2018. I went back and then came back 2019.
Oh, so you decided this is home for you now?
Yes, this is home. This is sweet Sugar City.
So do you miss anything about St. Vincent?
My family. That's about it. Just my family and the carnival. Carnival is so amazing.
And what similarities are there with LGBT St. Kitts and LGBT St. Vincent? Are there any similarities in both countries?
Well,
or should I say, is St. Vincent more advanced than St. Kitts, or St. Kitts is a bit more
St. Kitts is more advanced, and St. Kitts is way more tolerant than St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We in St. Vincent, we're not bashing you, St. Vincent, but St. Vincent is trying so hard to be like Jamaica, where they're very homophobic, and St. Kitts, I've met people who are a little bit more tolerant and more understanding. Because if I wasn't St. Vincent, I wouldn't be able to wear nails, I wouldn't be able to, you know, wear makeup in public, just do what I do in public, because you will have a lot of backlash. But in St. Kitts, you have one or two people, but my saying is ignore the noise.
Yeah, I like that. Ignore the noise. So there was an overall who won the show overall?
St. Vincent actually won the show because she was very, you know, she gave the girls what they're supposed to give. She was extra, and I was like, I was still a bit shy and scared. But I did my best, and I'm proud of myself.
I was told that you do pageants and stuff, but you are backstage. You're not front and center.
No.
Oh, okay. So this was your first.
Yeah, this was my first.
This being your first, and now that you've gotten the experience, would you enter other pageants?
Oh, I've been
ever
since competing in the pageant in St. Lucia. I've been offered many other people have been coming to me and say, "Oh, we want you to go in for this pageant, we want you to go in for that." But to be honest, I'm still thinking.
Okay.
But my answer will be yes.
Okay.
My answer will obviously be yes.
I like that.
Of course. And Amani, we would have seen some of your work, some of the organization that you've worked with. Share with us your love and passion for makeup and fashion. Where did it all started?
Well, it all started for makeup. It all started in St. Kitts, actually. I was always obsessed with the way females do their eye, the way they look different. I believe makeup is an extension of you, and it's supposed to make you look even more beautiful.
Yes.
I'm not with the old makeup is hiding your true beauty. I believe it brings out your inner beauty.
Okay.
My love for makeup came from my friend, actually her name is Deloma, and my friend Tiffany, and also Tariq, because they are also amazing. Deloma do her own makeup. Tiffany is the baddest makeup in St. Kitts and Nevis. Also Tariq, and they're also amazing. They inspire me a lot because they are fearless, and it also transports me because makeup is amazing. And for fashion now, my favorite fashion house is Mugler, because Mugler knows the female body. I'm not trying to be a female, but I wanna exude the female energy. Sometimes, not all the time. Fashion, the love of fashion actually came from my auntie. She was a Baptist. She used to go to church and she big hat. She shake and go. Now I know it was a shake and go way because she's actually taking up the bag and shaking. And she nice, sexy floral dress, and she always used to get on this pink lipstick and make. She used to baby powder think she face. She don't want face to look too oily.
So you're from a line of fashionistas. There goes my voice now.
Exactly. Amani, you just shared that in no way you're trying to become a girl. But how do you, like, for the persons who are watching this show, how would you want them to view you? Because when I read your bio, it says that you are non-binary.
Non-binary.
Can you share with the novices what does
non-binary
mean?
Non-binary basically means I am neither male or female. I am just in between. I have on this shirt right now. My pronouns are they, them, he, she, he, her.
And we can refer to you as any one of those.
You
wouldn't be offended.
And I won't be offended.
Okay.
Non-binary is just basically a person who is in between. They're neither male or female. They just align in between. I refuse to give in to the gender norms.
Okay.
I totally agree.
I like that because I was gonna ask what do we call you, because I see there is a they or them, but now I see we can use all.
Yes, you can use all.
So
love it.
Thank you.
So what's next for you, Amani?
What's next for me is, my dream is to work for Mugler. I wanna just be a little stylist, just a little stylist. I know, but just a little. They're gonna be like, and I wanna. My all-time idol is to meet Beyonce. I also want to style Beyonce. So for now, I'm just working on my craft, my craft and getting better. And what I do, I also want to do more styling gigs in St. Kitts and Nevis. But the thing is, St. Kitts people is so scared of change and so scared to push themselves out of the box.
Right.
That would never be me. With me, I will push you.
Funny you said that about change, and this morning I went to the corner shop and the young lady was saying, we were speaking about no plastic bag Mondays, right? And she said the same thing. Kitchens don't really like change.
And that is wrong.
Well, maybe they will get in the groove eventually. And
I believe so.
Yeah.
They need to take that out the head.
As my mantra says, be you. The world will eventually adjust.
Exactly, you have to be yourself because everybody else is already taken.
I like that. Armani, right?
Yes.
Armani you said you wanted to meet Beyonce.
Yeah.
And I noticed something in your bio that says Amonce.
Yes.
Is that a mix of the two names?
Yes, this is a mix of Amani and I'm Beyonce, so Amonce. To be honest,
how did you decide that was gonna be your stage name?
Because Beyonce, of course. I was like, let me just mix the both because both of them sound good.
Yeah,
Amani, my name come from Amani Exchange because my mother like expensive things.
Ooh, so I see where you get the taste from now.
Yes, and Beyonce because she's my author idol. I look up to her so much. So I said, I better just combine the two. So I'm Amonce.
So what connections do you have? You intend to work for Mugler. What connections do you have, or what connections are you creating to ensure that goal comes through, so that someone that's watching you now can say, if Amani can do it, I can do it too.
I'm gonna say this: be persistent and be on the Mugler posts and under the comments, because a couple times this year they actually commented back under my when I commented hearts, they commented back, they like it, they repost my stuff. I freaked out and everybody was like, why are you freaking out Oni Mugler? I'm like, no, it's not Oni Mugler, this is the Mugler. This is Terry Mugler. It's called Couture. I freaked out. Just be on the, if you like if you like a brand, always be on the post, always have them post notification on. You never know when you will get noticed. I got noticed by Mugler.
Oh,
that's a big deal for me. That's a huge deal for me.
There you go. Toot your horn, my friend. And in terms of the community, because we do have an LGBT community right here in St. Kitts, what are some of the activities, if there's any, that's upcoming? And where would you want to see LGBTQ plus St. Kitts Nevis?
I want us to be more fearless. That is basically, I just want us to be more fearless and be more outspoken and stand up for our own rights, because nobody else would. and nobody will understand more than us.
I agree.
And the activities, well, SKN Alliance for Equality, we have workshops sometimes on Saturdays. You can learn workshop skills, you can learn friendship skills, you can learn even if you want to learn more how to do a resume, you can even come to reach out to SKN Alliance and they will help you all those stuff. SKN Alliance is really good, like really good. They look out for the LGBTQIA plus community in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Is there a number? Is there social media pages that we can go
You can just type in SKN Alliance on Instagram and all the information will be right there
So
for
you're
you.
just on Instagram?
Yeah, just on Instagram.
For now, okay.
And what about yourself? Or the persons who are watching the show right now, and he looks fabulous. You want the hair, you want the makeup, you want all that. How can they get in touch with you to?
You can go on my Instagram page, Chris X Armani, on my Facebook page, Chris Giovanni Richardson, because I'm my last name, and I'm not going to give you guys my number.
Okay. He's not sharing the number with us. That's okay. At least we have ways and means to find you.
Yes.
So who are some of the pageant contestants that you would have assisted in previous and past pageants?
Well, I wasn't hands-on. I was just like a shadow.
Okay.
I was a shadow, but I just assist Tariq and Devon and then with like people like Ngazi, people like Sasha. I didn't assist them fully, but I was just there
in the back
for encouragement.
Okay, nice.
Got it. And what would be your ultimate goal for LGBTQ St. Kitts? Would you want to see them annually having their own troop?
Yes.
Every morning.
Yes. This is Pride Month. We should have something for Pride Month,
This is why we're highlighting you. Hopefully you can start.
This true, lad.
So you're putting everything on Amani.
Everything on Amani.
Oh my God.
You know what? That's good. Pressure brings diamonds.
Oh yeah, indeed. Ooh, he went all the way in the diamond mine. I like that.
To do what Amani did, when to represent St. Kitts on an international stage, it takes a lot of guts.
A lot.
Even though he did not won the pageant, but I'm sure it would have gained you the experience. And so,
I'm surprised because interview carries a lot of points.
Yeah, that was a whole discussion by itself backstage. I even started to cry, but it's okay. I'm a GM, a thug,
You're straight that he's a thug.
Tupac used to cry every now and again,
Yeah, indeed.
So Amani, anyone from the community that's watching, what advice would you have for them who wants to be themselves, but because of society, what they think? What advice do you have for them?
I would say be patient with yourself first. Learn to love yourself first. And everything else will fall into place. Those two things are important. Be patient with yourself first and learn to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself, how the hell you can love somebody else?
That's it. And finally, what advice would you give to them to handle homophobia, especially here in St. Kitts?
Baby, you're a star. Jesus, he had a lot of haters. They even killed the man. Okay? You are great. You are worthy to be loved. And just ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. And pain don't last forever.
It doesn't last forever at all. Well, Amani, it was indeed our pleasure speaking with you. Andre, do you have anything else to ask Amani?
Listen, just continue being you. We love you, my brother, my sister.
Her,
as you said. He doesn't mind we call him.
I don't mind at all.
I don't mind at all. Whatever we choose, he's non-binary. And so we want to thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you so much.
Up to you, and we admire you, and just continue to grow from strength to strength. You definitely have my support, and I'm looking forward for bigger and better things from you, Amani.
I appreciate you guys so much, and for people out there who looking up to me, because sometimes I got when I went in for the show, I got a lot of DMs saying you're inspiration. I look up to you. This is very inspiring to me. And at first it was very overwhelming because I'm like, I don't want to be a role model. I do nothing wrong. But I love it. I embrace it, and I appreciate you guys for having me. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Pleasure. And being a role model, you don't have to be perfect. Don't worry. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So Don't be too hard on yourself.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Amani Lewis, the St. Kitts and Nevis representative at this year's Caribbean pageant that was held in St. Lucia. Stay tuned. So much more after this short break.
My name is Carton Food, Chairman for Panorama.
Hi, and my name is MJ Byron, co-leader of EBJ Harmonic Steel Orchestra. And we just want to encourage everybody to tune in every morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Don't miss it. Right.
Yo, you know it's me, Mr. H.E. Yo, make sure you tune in to Good Morning SKN Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Studio 327. Yo, trust me, the baddest show in the morning. Make sure you check it out. Wake up. Make sure that you are there from 8 to 10, Monday to Friday. Boom, check it.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. In 1997, Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book called The Four Agreements, a practical guide to personal freedom. Ruiz's 4 agreements are ones you make with yourself. He believes if you can do these 4 things, you will live a powerful, authentic, balanced life. Today we will be looking at the second agreement, don't take anything personally. And it is time for us to do what? We're gonna loosen up and not take things personally.
His second agreement. his second agreement, don't take anything personally. Do you take things personal?
How hard is that? It depends. But not really, because I'm a butterfly. I ain't got time for this. I just flap my wings and just float out of place. Yeah.
I am the opposite. I take things personal.
But so that means you hold on to a lot of stuff. This is why I tell you, feel you have a story. I'm leaning in. I feel you have a story that you're not telling us.
Listen, we all have a story. However,
what's yours?
She's eager to know my story, but listen.
I'm trying here, guys.
I do take things personally, depending on the situation, depending on the individual.
It's coming from?
Yes.
Wow.
You have some persons who have no form of say in your life, but they have an opinion for you. And so whatever they would have said, I would have taken not offense, but
personally.
So depending on the individual, I do take things personal.
Well, I would say it's quite easy for me because I try not to. And the older I get, I try not to overthink things because I don't want to be trapped in that. I don't want to be extremely stressed or depressed because that's a recent phenomenon. I realize it's trying to get the best of me, but I've been fighting it like I'm in war. Yeah.
Well.
So I try not to take things personally.
So you just take it, let it run off your back, whatever.
Most times.
Most times?
Yeah.
But
and I have a mind where I don't remember things. I like that for that reason, but I just always hope that my mind doesn't forget what I need to remember. But I like it that it doesn't remember certain things.
But what
and
about
that
those
being part of
persons
it.
who don't have the thick skin like you, or don't? I mean,
well, for those that don't have this thick skin, like as Andre said, I have. Yeah, quote unquote, because I don't know, because some days what people say do affect me, but I managed to get over it quick, fast, and in a hurry. So for those persons who don't, I would just say they'll have to like get themselves out of the environment or the situation.
Okay.
Work. Just be more loving towards yourself, self-accepting towards yourself. So when people try to attack who you are, you don't take them on. You just keep it pushing.
Got it.
Yeah.
How do you not take anything personally? That's the thing. Like as I
Andre,
said,
because most times persons project on you what is wrong with them.
That's so true.
So how can you allow them to put their beliefs on you? Just like how we don't. Okay, not knocking any religion or anything, right? But I'm just gonna put it to this example. Because of our ethnicities, most of us are known to be Christian.
Right.
We're not Muslims. We're not Hindus. We are not. What else is out there? We are not. Right? So you believe in what you believe in.
Right.
You're not gonna allow that next person to push what they believe on you, and let's hope we do the same. Because you can only talk to somebody, but you don't say, "Oh, this is a better religion. This will do this. This will do that." We can't do that.
Right.
So that's why you have to stand your ground, because it's what you believe in. So you're not gonna buy anything that somebody is selling because they say, "Oh, it's gonna make you slim." You buy it and then it doubles you in size.
Got it.
So you have to know what you stand for, and know that sometimes the stuff that people say or put on you is a reflection of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and don't take it.
Take it personal. See, nothing others do is because of you. It's because of themselves. What others say and do is a projection. Look at that. I didn't even see their own reality and their own dream. It's not about you. I didn't even realize that was here.
Interesting. But I mean, as I said, you have some persons who would, whatever you are going through at the time, they would make reference to you. So how do you not take it personal?
I mean, make reference to you how? Okay, give us a story without making it personal to Andre.
Court is eager to find out.
I just cleared it up. No, I don't even want to find out. Give us a story that has nothing to do with you, or an example, or something of the sort. Because we need to get it clear. I need to understand it as clear as possible, and I'm sure for persons watching, they want the clarity as well.
As I said, I often take things personal, depending on the situation, depending on the individual.
Okay, so if somebody say you're too skinny, do you take that personal?
Well, I know I'm skinny, so...
No, but I'm just rolling with an example. Do you take it personal?
Depends. It depends. Yes, it depends. I will take it personal. Depends on
who it's coming from.
Who it's coming from, and like say if it's a big, robust, muscular person, I would see it as condescending, trying to look down on me because I'm skinny and you are bulky and muscular. So it all depends. I will take it personal.
Okay.
So you see what I'm trying to convey. It depends on who it's coming from.
Y'all can't even share a nice little story with us, can he? he's just running from this situation.
But it's the truth, though. It's the truth.
So have you had persons tell you things and then you realize they have problems, so they're trying to put the problem on you?
Several times.
Okay. And how do you deal with that? Did you take it personally, or did you just let it like water off the duck's back or water off leaf, because you know it's their own insecurities that they're dealing with, trying to project it on you?
Yep.
Okay.
I would have definitely analyze myself, ask myself, why would that individual refer to me or refer to the situation? And then if it's a situation where I need to respond, then I'll do so. But I often take it personal.
So Andre, what can you do to not take things personal?
We all need to take things personal. Yes.
Okay. But what can you do to not take it personal? Okay, so you do take things personal.
Now, if I ignore it, I might come off as being rude.
But what if it's necessary for you to take it personal?
So you're saying not everything deserves an answer?
And we know that in life.
That's true.
Sometimes our parents tell us like you walk away from it, you don't say anything, because not only, let's say as adults, you say something to somebody, the next minute you see the bailiff not the bailiff. What's the person that bring the summons? I'm not even sure. You get a hot summons, right?
Right.
And you just inadvertently said that. You didn't even think that it would have affected.
But it reached your doorstep.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take it personal?
That I'll have to take serious.
Listen, if I have a friend and they sue me, the friendship done. Mash right up.
Well, in that case, because we know some things come to an end, as I abruptly say, we just have to say thank you and goodbye.
Right.
But I just want to know what are you working on to not take things too personal? Like people sometimes see me and they be like, oh, Cortensia, I'm going to use myself since you are so afraid to use Andre. You fat. Fat? No, I'm 40. What do you expect? I can't look the way I looked when I was 16. I don't take it personal. I exercise because I know I have NCDs that I need to control.
Right.
So I do what I do for me, but I'm not fat. What is classed as fat?
But
I have an adult weight.
But it would have affected you in some way. If somebody looked at you, oh, Cartia, oh, the fat girl, blah, 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 you take it personal.
No, because I'm not fat. No.
Cortensia, I wish I had the thick skin.
No,
like you.
it's not even thick skin, Andre. I think it's being comfortable in my own skin, being confident in who Cortensia is, and try my best to not let the things that others say affect me.
Others.
Yeah.
Those 6 letter words.
Problems. Problems. So no, I just be like, people, I'm 40. What do you expect? I can't look the way I looked when I was 5 or 16 or whatever. I show when all of us look at our pictures, we be like, boy, we look like we need food. But hey, we grow up. We have to adjust to the times. We get the weight and we just control it.
Yep. And as I said, a few days ago, I was a chubby child. I just grew to be slim.
A few days ago?
Yes, I made mention of it a few days ago. Try and remember.
No, I thought you meant a few days ago. I was just teasing you, right? Because you know how I was a chubby child, and now I'm just a skinny child.
And as Ruiz says, whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves.
Yep. And what others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. You see that?
There you go.
So what do you plan to do to be immune to the words and the actions of the meanies around us?
One, accept yourself for who you are. Be comfortable in your own skin. And of course, educate yourself. Find activities that you can engage in to occupy your time. Because I think many times we feel down and out is because we are being too idle. Yes, we find time for things that don't matter, and if we engage in meaningful activities, I think we won't have time to think about what others think of you.
How about being part of a group and then you were excommunicated? How personal do you take that?
Excommunicated or kicked out?
That's the same thing. I was being nice. I was being nice.
Well, I would have, of course, I would first find out why. Why was I ejected from the group?
Now you need to parachute, y'all.
Yeah, and depends. Like, what if my opinion? I gave an opinion and they didn't take my opinion. I would be offended. Yes.
But in circles, we should be able to express ourselves and be who we are, and people accept us irregardless. As I said, our words aren't epistles or whatever, but allowing persons to be themselves takes relationships and friendships very far, because I think they shine more, they invest more in other persons that are in the group. So yeah. And this one says, when you are immune to the opinions and action of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. As Rory said, whatever happens around you, don't take it personally, Andre. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves.
So you're giving me a charge this morning?
Yes.
You're charging?
To get thick skin.
Get some thick skin.
No, not really. No. But what is thick skin though? We say everybody got
skin is...
Thick skin is not... Thick skin doesn't exist, because we get pierced, but we just don't take it on. That's all.
GMSKN Nation, we have a thick-skinned person right here on set.
No,
the person is
that's not true.
40. You could say whatever you want about her. It just run off she back like right? Duck. Yes.
I just said, right? You can get pricked, but you don't have to hold on to it and take it personally.
So you're charging me this morning not to take things personally.
To get pricked and just move on.
Get who?
Prick.
Repeat that?
Prick. So they say they say something about you, you feel it, but then you just shake it off and you just move on.
I've never heard that term.
You never heard prick? Nope. Oh, that means Andre never had fairy tale days.
Listen,
she got pricked with the spindle. That's why what had happened to her happened.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm just dragging your foot.
He's trying to get me to take him personally, but I'm not going to.
But yeah, I can definitely work on that, not to take things personally, because I have been taking a lot of things personally when it is said, especially about me.
Okay, so I have to work on my co-host not taking things too personally. So we're gonna get pricked and we're gonna shake it off. We're gonna loosen up with that. And what else? What else I have to work on you with for the week? I forgot.
For the week?
No, you said there was something else yesterday. I needed to work on. I can't remember.
You mean cheating in the game? Yes, you did. You cheated on set yesterday. She didn't make that origami art properly, folks. I won.
Why am I being chastised here? Wow.
And you also didn't get the riddle correctly.
I didn't get the riddle?
No.
So what is the answer, please? What runs and doesn't walk?
Oh, that was the first riddle. The second one was, what have I but cannot see?
But you never told me that, a needle.
I asked it.
Get your life.
Oh. I'm not going to take this one personal at all. You got it. You got me.
He's trying it, y'all. He's trying it. I'm prepared for you. I'm prepared for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that our little discussion helped you. And as I said, certain things that will be said, it may hurt, but just shake it off and move on, because as we said, it's a reflection of the person that is projecting whatever on you and not of yourself. So, yeah. Don't take things personally. We got too many other things happening in life, and to stress ourselves, to be bogged down with worry that is just so insignificant,
and for those
isn't worth it.
And for those out there like myself,
Shake it off.
Shake it off. I will definitely be working on that for the rest of the week and for the rest of the
year. And forever. And
Just
the rest
give
of
me
your life.
all I need is a week. I won't be taking things personal in a week. Just give me 1 week.
In a week when I come back and I said,
Try me.
Okay.
Try me.
Okay. I will be judge, jury, in everything for you. GMSK Nation, stay tuned. Much more after the break.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Morning, SKN, this is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. But it's not a happy place in the life, and they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
This is Infamous Music representing for Good Morning SKN, and I want to encourage you to watch the show every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Easy no man. Say me don't know about you, but me love Good Morning SKN bed. Easy.
Yo, you know it's me, Mr. H.E. Yo, make sure you tune in to Good Morning SKN, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Studio 327. Yo, trust me, the baddest show in the morning. Make sure you check it out. Wake up, Make sure that you are there from 8 to 10, Monday to Friday. Check it.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Everything set and proper. That was the theme of the 27th anniversary of the longest running community festival in the Federation, the Green Valley Festival. The festival sparked off on the 30th of April with its health walk and culminated this past Saturday, 3rd of June, with its parade last lap. Today we are joined by two members of the Green Valley Festival Committee, Kyla Hudgens, Chairperson, and Joycelyn Stapleton, Vice Chair. Kyla and Joycelyn joins us to tell us and give us a recap on this event.
Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Happy you all could join us.
Yes, indeed.
So share with us, what was the inspiration behind the theme, Everything Proper?
Everything set
and proper. I stand corrected. What was the inspiration behind the theme?
The inspiration came about because the year before we had everything set, and then this year, we have to get everything proper.
Right.
So that's where the inspiration came from. We had everything set already, so we had to make sure it was now proper, and it came off proper this year for us.
Quite fitting indeed.
Nice. It's at the 27th. I am going to ask you, Joycelyn, did we miss a 28 because of COVID? Should it have been 28 because of COVID?
No, it should not have been 28 because of COVID. It's 27 years.
So you celebrated during COVID too?
We did things that were not outside, but we still did stuff that allowed for us to give somebody some food, help out along the way, because COVID was there and we couldn't go outside and really behave how we usually do.
Right.
But we were still able to assist where we could. So that was why we didn't say 25 years and still continued with the 27.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice.
Awesome. Can you share with us the health walk? How was the health walk?
The health walk, that was good, but it could have been more supported because as our health work shirt mentioned, we do care about our people in the community, and we would like to see more people come out to the health work so we can nicely promote it and that more people can benefit from it in the event that Green Valley is also looking to promote a health plan where we could also assist persons in the community when they have health issues. So we do appeal to persons to also support that as well.
So the Green Valley organization is not just about party. There's so many other aspects to it.
Yes, there's quite a few other things that we do, as our motto is fostering community development through cultural involvement. So the part where you get to party and all of that is the cultural aspect of it. But community development, we are trying to be wholesome, and to be wholesome, you have to look at your health. Because if we do not have good health, we cannot be on the road.
Exactly. Who started this organization, ladies?
It was started by Miss Patricia Anna Libert and a few proud members of the community. I don't want to call my name. I don't want to miss out on
We try not to call any names because we tend to get in trouble when we say say, because it's a community event.
I agree.
Okay.
And persons contribute from our community. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, this year, one of the things that we did what we call an icon pack. We sort of stole the idea from our leadership training course that we did with Mr. Jenkins.
Okay.
And so we created our own icon pack in Keon, and we honored Miss Patricia as well as Mr. Vernon Benjamin, who was our second chairperson. And so we did a nice little write-up, and we have it displayed there in Keon. We are hoping to set a criteria and have other persons be added to that, so we are able to give persons their roses while they're alive.
I like that.
We've lost Mr. Benjamin. We lost him some years ago.
Condolences.
And so we are taking the chance to say thanks to him post-mortem.
Okay.
But
where's the park located?
It is right outside of the police station, Main Street. You can see right there.
Okay. So that little.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are looking for persons to come on board and sponsor, help us with the paint and all of that stuff.
Of course.
You heard it here first. And who should they contact?
They can either contact Ms. Huggins or myself or any member of the committee.
Okay.
And we'll be happy to accept all gifts.
Right out there in the universe, of course.
I like that.
So apart from the health walk, what was some of the other activities that you all had this year to celebrate the Green Valley Festival?
We also had the Green Valley Strip. We call it the Old Time Melee, and in this strip, at this strip, we support small businesses. I know when people say strip, they think about the agro strip.
Right.
We weren't about agro. We were more about small businesses coming out and promote themselves, advertising themselves, and letting people know what they sell.
Right.
Because you find that we have many small businesses that came up during COVID, and most people don't know about it.
That's true.
So we wanted to bring them out and have people patronize them. So I know where to go and find makeup. I know where to go and find jewelry. I know who sell food and pastas and pasta and all those kind of stuff. So this trip was one of them that I really thought was a very good initiative for Green Valley, as it supported small businesses. And this is our second time hosting it. It was greatly attended. And we also had the Kids Delight, which we can't forget the kids, the youths of today. So we do have to put something out for them. We had bouncing castles, dong tanks out for them. And they were also, there's so many things. We had the Glow Parade.
We had the Glow Parade. We had sports kids.
Is the Glow Parade
we paraded
first
the night.
time?
No.
Oh,
We paraded in the night with lights and rum and music.
The only place I know do parade in the night, the only country I should say, or island, Grenada. I never knew that it was done here on our little island.
Of course. Yes.
Well, now I learned something
We've
today.
embraced it over the past few years.
Right. I think there's one in town.
One in town as well. They call it Midnight Mass.
Right.
Midnight Mass, they call it.
Oh, but we had ours first.
No, Keon has.
We had ours first.
I like it. So they copied from Keon.
Yes,
Get it from
did.
Keon.
Okay. I want to go back to you, Tyler. The small business trip. Were the businesses from all around St. Kitts, or were you just highlighting persons from the community?
It was all around from St. Kitts. You see, we had Nature's Best came down from Nevis to showcase their product. Yes, it's very nice. Was ambassador for their Unigel.
Oh. Joycelyn, what is it you want to add? Why did you just
I am not going to say anything about
It's a very
nice. You should have seen the commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So were there any other new festival that are addition to the festival this year?
New will say we added the Jamil show, which was our international night. Green Valley haven't had an international night quite a while, but this year we did have the Jamil show, and I know most persons will know who Jamil is.
I'm here lost because I don't know.
He's a Jamaican dancehall artist.
You would know, but I don't know. See me here lost.
I heard her earlier say that she was already 40, so let's leave it there.
That's it right there. She's on my side.
I got. All right. I'm not going to take it personally. Oh,
Just
whoa, Jackson, you got me.
Yes, but Jamil, we've had our international nights years before, and we have not gotten the support financially that we would have wanted over the past few years. And so we were not able to bring in and have our international night. A few years ago, Madam Chair had the initiative. She took the initiative and said, since we can't bring anybody in, let's have Cohesion Night, which is our local artists.
Okay, nice.
Featured on our festival. But this year, the Ministry of Creative Economy came on board and they assisted us. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. He's from Keontae, right?
Of course, we had him yesterday.
So he's from the Green Valley area, and they came on board. And so we were able to partner with them and merge our Cohesion Night with an international artist. And Madam Chair got Jamil, you don't want to see the picture.
Madam Chair, you needed to bring these pictures today, you know. You needed to bring these pictures today. How important it is for the government to collaborate with community festivals to ensure their success?
It is very, very important. We are a small festival with a big heart.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we tend to reach high. But we cannot do it on our own. We need the assistance of not only government, but persons from the community, the surrounding communities, because though our heart is in Keon, we are based from Canada to Utley.
Yes, I know Corinne Teach. Oh my gosh, she is such a Keonite. Do you know her? Do you know her?
It's a Keon thing.
Justin, kidding me.
We got you on now.
Madam Chair.
It's a Keon thing. All right. It's a Keon thing.
And I saw some Keon faces when I walked in, you know, so I know you guys.
One over there, but whoop whoop.
It's true.
Good stuff.
So, ladies, can you take the opportunity to thank some of the sponsors or some of the persons who were on board the 2023 Green Valley Festival?
Sure. I want to thank Island Auto Supplies, also St. Kitts Biomedical, Ministry of the Creative Economy, Hosford. We also had TDC, who also came on board. I'm thanking them for coming on board with us once again this year. They have truly been helpful. We also want...
We have Jenkins.
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins, he would not appreciate the two of us being here not saying thank you. We have smaller entities like
Azul Printing,
Treble's Delight, Dee's Kitchen, Chillax Grill.
Nice.
And all these are very small businesses.
These are all small businesses coming out of the Green Valley area, persons who are from the Green Valley area. Some of the persons who normally come on board didn't come on board, and that may have been because of COVID or we just did not get to them. We want to say an extra big thank you to our Prime Minister. He came on board. He's also our constituency representative, so you know that we did call. So we want to say a big thank you to him. And one of the things that we want to say thanks to is our committee members. Because if they didn't come out, it would be Madam Chair, myself, and the executive alone who would be working. And some days it's tough.
Yes, I can understand. But y'all make it
because
look
we all
easy.
have families, we all have our lives and other things that are happening. But for the love of community,
they came out.
Yes, they came.
Awesome.
Indeed.
So to them we say thanks.
So before we go, a quick question, because we're down on our goodbye time. What was the favorite event and which one had the most guests?
I think the favorite event would have to have been...
For you?
Juve.
No. For the people. So the favorite event for the people and the one that had the biggest turnout.
To me, it would have been the Juve and the parade and last lap.
Okay, those two.
Yes, because we go around the community, and they went around like 4 or 5 times.
Wow. Wow. Listen, I've been
They were
once or
prepared.
twice and I had fun.
We
It
have
was
church
awesome.
on that particular Monday. So when church used to be in Sadler's, we used to have to drive behind the route that you guys would create first. So I normally barely see. So that's why I can never attend because I always have church.
Girl, you missed out.
Praise the Lord.
We used to have a church event as
Right.
a part because we shouldn't leave God out of
Of course.
anything. And so I'm glad that she said this because hopefully next year we'll have
Right.
our churches because Keon has the most churches of any community. I think we have 13 or 14 churches.
Wow.
Praise the Lord.
Hopefully they'll come on board and organize an event for us.
Nice. So we can start off with church. We can get into the health walk and then we can proceed down the line.
Correct.
All right. I like it. Well, ladies.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today. And we hope that you will chat with us next year before everything starts so
Hopefully
that people will know.
before and Good Morning SKN will be a sponsor. We'll be calling early.
Okay.
Putting it out in the universe.
They're putting it out there.
Of course.
All right.
Well, Court, it was a fun show this morning.
It was indeed. And we ended it on a high note.
What was your favorite part of the show?
Oh, what was my favorite part? All the parts, even not taking things personally. Yeah.
Here we go again. Well, shout out to the Green Valley Festival.
Yes.
Big up Keon. I love me some Keonites.
Yes.
Amani was awesome. You definitely have to represent my community. And not to take things personal, according to you.
You're working on it.
I will. Give me 1 week. Max. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tune in daily where you'll find a little bit of everything for everyone. Get your friends and family to watch. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. and Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Also, check out our website at studio327inc.com to learn more about GMSKN and Studio 327.
And a big thank you to those of you who are watching and to all our guests who took time out of their busy schedule to be here in the studio with us this morning. We appreciate you greatly. So leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you'll wake up bright and early and start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. We didn't do the song. So long,
farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye.
For now, ladies,
until we meet again.
Wow. The ladies came in. They probably didn't even know what the song was, right? But thank you.
Yeah.
Keon.
Nobody.
See you all tomorrow,
Bye, guys.
folks.
Thank you.